I continue my reading of Pope Benedict XVI's encyclical letter entitled Caritas and Veritate, which is to say, integral human development in charity and truth. I begin at number 59 in chapter 5, the title of the chapter being The Cooperation of the Human Family. I shall read numbers 59 and 60. Number 59. Cooperation for development must not be concerned exclusively with the economic dimension. It offers a wonderful opportunity for encounter between cultures and peoples. If the parties to cooperation on the side of economically developed countries, as occasionally happens, fail to take account of their own or others' cultural identity, or the human values that shape it, they cannot enter into meaningful dialogue with the citizens of poor countries. If the latter, in their turn, are uncritically and indiscriminately open to every cultural proposal, they will not be in a position to assume responsibility for their own authentic development. Technologically advanced countries and societies must not confuse their own technological development with a presumed cultural superiority, but must rather rediscover within themselves the often forgotten virtues which make it possible for them to flourish throughout their history. Evolving societies must remain faithful to all that is truly human in their traditions, avoiding the temptation to overlay them automatically with the mechanisms of a globalized technological civilization. In all cultures, there are examples of ethical convergence, some isolated, some interrelated, as an expression of the one human nature, willed by the Creator. The tradition of ethical wisdom knows this as the natural law. This universal moral law provides a sound basis for all cultural, religious and political dialogue, and it ensures that the multifaceted pluralism of cultural diversity does not detach itself from the common quest for truth, goodness and God. Thus, adherence to the law etched on human hearts is the precondition for all constructive social cooperation. Every culture has burdens from which it must be freed and shadows from which it must emerge. The Christian faith, by becoming incarnate in cultures and at the same time transcending them, can help them grow in universal brotherhood and solidarity for the advancement of global and community development. Number 60. In the search for solutions to the current economic crisis, development aid for poor countries must be considered a valid means of creating wealth for all. What aid program is there that can hold out such significant growth prospects, even from the point of view of the world economy, as the support of populations that are still in the initial or early phases of economic development? From this perspective, more economically developed nations should do all they can to allocate larger portions of their gross domestic product to development aid, thus respecting the obligations that the international community has undertaken in this regard. One way of doing so is by reviewing their internal social assistance and welfare policies, applying the principle of subsidiarity and creating better integrated welfare systems with the active participation of private individuals and civil society. In this way, it is actually possible to improve social services and welfare programs, and at the same time to save resources by eliminating waste and rejecting fraudulent claims, which could then be allocated to international solidarity. A more devolved and organic system of social solidarity, less bureaucratic but no less coordinated, would make it possible to harness much dormant energy for the benefit of solidarity between peoples. One possible approach to development aid would be to apply effectively what is known as fiscal subsidiarity, allowing citizens to decide how to allocate a portion of the taxes they pay to the state. Provided it does not degenerate into the promotion of special interests, This can help to stimulate forms of welfare solidarity from below, with obvious benefits in the area of solidarity for development as well. In my next segment, I shall read numbers 61 and 62 of this chapter 5.